Why, good evening, you beautiful souls. Now, transcending cycles. This is an incredibly important one. Now, if you're in the Seattle area, I host a men's sacred circle called Building Brotherhood. And I always like to give a little bit of the insights behind this magical group. And one of them is the prompt that we had this Sunday. And this was our first round of sharing. And it's because cycles are going to be repeating now. I want you to think back in your life around 2009, 2010, and 2011. Now, the same cycles are going to be paralleled in a drastic fashion in the coming months, partly because we're entering this wild conjunction where Jupiter, it's all about bringing out the fullness of yourself, intuition, that highest self connection, your real potential. And it's combined with these House of Aries, this kind of warring energy. So one can look at this sense of destruction is necessary in the process of creation. So again, you've been thinking about that 2009, 10, 11 period. Now we're going to directly parallel that with last year, 2021, 2022, and 2023. Take a moment just to reflect on that one. Now, as we kind of unfold in the meditation this evening, we're going to continue to kind of unbaggage and unpack a lot of these conditionings, a lot of these cycles, a lot of the patterns, so that you can put yourself in a better position to really pivot your life in a beautiful direction. Now, I know personally that period was one that sparked my really awakening and the search for truth, and then self-realization and all that jazz. And this is the very, I guess you would say, parallel path, because it's the bottom up instead of the top down. I'm really learning back that sense of loving the human experience, coming back to the beingness, giving it the full love and light of the creator and source that we know in that pureness of the being. So, most important thing about tonight is to really just allow yourself to let go of all judgment. Let go of all those past mistakes, because again, everything brought you here today. Some of these cycles that we may be exploring may be pretty painful. But one more important thing to remember is through these practices of, you could say, introspection or self reflection, we have an opportunity to transform that suffering into a strength, that pain into a power, and that loneliness into oneness. So, as usual, get those last few wiggles out. I lovingly invite you back to your beingness, to remember the effortless flow of that sailing by the heart, that throne of the soul. Allow yourself to drop into that heart chakra by evoking that Christ within you, that highest self. Call forth upon it now. I evoke the Christ within me. I evoke the Christ within me. I evoke the Christ within me. And as we enter this period to capitalize on these astrological changes and the eclipses, we recognize here fully that portals open up for us to transform, to transcend, ultimately to liberate ourselves from the past cycles. Here, set your intentions now in this light of heart and love, that in which you seek to transcend and transform. The fullness of yourself, what is it you seek to unlock, to explore, to apply? When you hear the first 3 taps of the singing bowl, take a nice deep breath in. And with your exhale, transform it into a powerful Om. A mighty sigh of relief, lower the jaw and relax the mouth, and allow that A note to resonate from the chest. And as you close the mouth, the U and the M will form naturally, finishing off this divine chord with a gentle and soft smile on your face. Allow yourself to fully relax the body. Each exhale, slowly yet surely relaxing every joint, every muscle, until you yourself forget the body's existence in its entirety. Simply floating as consciousness, being that pureness that you are. Allow yourself to breathe from this ethereal realm of the chakra centers, these funnels and swirls of energy and light. Taking deep breaths from the crown of the skull, through the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral center, and again, that cone facing down the root chakra. Drawing in the energy from the front and the back of your body. Deep inhalations here. When you hear this final tap of the singing bowl, shift your attention fully to the sound of that bell as it rings. And as it fades into silence, so too shift that affection of attention to the quiet, the calm, the unchanging and unmoving. The most important thing to recognize here is the fact that you are the creator of your experience. With divine assistance from beyond realms in which we can't conceive nor perceive. We must understand that we're the ones with the pen, crafting, shaping the story. But it is one that is not written by the mind, but of the heart, the purest, the essence of our being itself, guiding us and shaping us towards the unfoldment, to the fulfillment of what we are, that full recognition of self, that divine I am presence. We must come to recognize that that journey, even then, continues to expand as we investigate and explore that application of this divinity we come to realize. Then transcending it all. One must look at that everything in their experience has been arising for these very deep essential truths to our existence. The continual evolution and unfoldment of our being, and that pureness of love and light in which is the Creator. Come to understand here that the cycles in which are currently mapped out for you are ones in which you can transmute and transform to that in which you seek. But you must channel the energies, the patterns accordingly. You must recognize the cycles that have been repeating. Cycles of 12, cycles of 3, it matters not the duration. One must recognize here fully that you are entering another grand transition. That this year is the one that is setting the stage, and last year was the first domino to fall, and now we enter in the season for you to pivot, for you to choose. Look back within your experience to the beginning of this cycle in its first round, the year of 2009. What was going on within your experience? What happenings were arising? How did you perceive the world? And more importantly, how did you perceive yourself? Were there any major events that were arising? Were there any transitions? For many of us, this served as that domino, just as last year served for many, this going ahead and around. And that 2009 served as the catalytic moment that may not have been the explosion of any recognition, transformation, or life change, but it served as the planting of the seed that grew into the change in which you are currently walking today. that path set upon the past self. And as we look at this 2009, we can see that the journey began leading us into 2010. For many, this in truth was that catalyst, realized in the moment as the epiphanies, the ahas, the recognitions, the drastic changes, the shattering of perspectives. Whether it be experienced as a rock bottom or an inspiring change, one must look at how that one moment in 2010 led into a series, continuing this transition, this direction of adjustment. And that trajectory set us in that path of 2011. And that is the important thing to recognize here. It's as if the previous 2 years served as the loading of the gun, 2010 serving as the pulling of the trigger. But the importance with this next year, in which we will experience in 2023, just as it mirrored 2011, is that it is the aiming of the gun to the direction in which you seek. So, what is your target here and now for the years to come? What do you seek for yourself? For we must come to understand the energies of Jupiter are trying to bring out the fulfillment of your pureness, the self-realization that is destined for you. But will you be aware of the chaos that will naturally arise in the season of Aries? Will you see these opportunities as the tumultuous wave that can be embarked and conquered? Or we choose to stay in the same cycles of the same shores? One must come to understand that this series approaching us is going to be amplified by the coming eclipses and these astrological alignments of the stars. As these celestial bodies carry such magnificent energy, it will ripple throughout time. That is the whole purpose of understanding our position in the cosmos, is everything is energy impacting itself, swirling in a pool of ether, of love. Know here you can really capitalize on this opportunity of the heart by looking deeply within these cycles that are repeating again. What did 2010 represent to what you are currently going through now in 2022? And if things unfold as you seek in this depths of your heart and these highest of aspirations, what will 2023 bring you? And the seed of change and transformation was planted last year. Now is the time to fertilize it, to nurture it, to love it, so it may grow into that ripened tree, birthing prosperous fruits for you to consume. Allow yourself to allow the heart to smile as you imagine these tasty experiences in the future, for this is your time to manifest and set the direction. Come to know that you are being divinely led to that in which you seek, but choose wisely, for your heart is the sail. The winds of the cosmos are ever pushing, so steer yourself in the direction you seek. In order to fully transcend the cycles, we must recognize the ones that were not serving us in the past and in the present. For it's all the game of inertia. Where are you investing your energy? Are you still holding on to habits that don't serve you? Are you still holding on to concepts that hold you back from seeing the truth? Let go of all assumptions, let go of all doubts and fears, and transmute all such things into that courageous, confident love. For you are the divine embodied. It is your birthright. not only to achieve that highest understanding of self, but to live fully in that effortless flow of love. Again, look back upon that cycle. 2009, 2010, and 2011. And continue to marinate in the parallel mirroring that you are experiencing now. One can even see that the characters may be the same, or the roles may be different. But the point here is to recognize fully that the paintings are one and the same, but using a different color palette. It's in this very light we can see these little Easter eggs provided by the universe for us to learn from, to grow from, to transcend and go beyond the past understandings and applications. You are fully capable of transforming each and every experience, but we must learn. First, forgive yourself of the past mistakes, for there are no such things. You are the divine. There are no such things as imperfection with you in your existence. Everything is divinely guided. One can say very certain that we may not enjoy all aspects of this divine film, but they are divine and beautiful and intended nonetheless. So look within the past and accept those wrongs, those rights, and transcend all aspects of such duality. Dance your dance from the heart. That is all that matters, for you to be your authentic self, to bring out that gift in which you are. To your fellow brothers and sisters, to the cosmos itself, to give reverence to the Creator through your own expression of love. There is nothing more powerful here than your opportunity to reflect. So look back within the cycles. How much have you grown? How much has changed? How do you perceive the world and yourself? Be humbled by your journey. Fall in love with the dance you've been upon, for that is the greatest expression of you. Adventure and explore, but come to see these past cycles as the neon lights, the warning signs, or the signs of encouragement that they are and serve as. For it's here in the moment we allow ourselves to be fully present for that love of the experience. To simply be. Marinate in that divine light in which you are. As you continue to assimilate these reflections and ponderings, looking at the year 2011, what arose within your experience? What happenings? What shortcomings? For it's here we can understand that the experiences witnessed can serve as the ultimate tool guide and strategy guide for life. They can serve as those signs to avoid or to carry out and walk upon. And life will provide you all the guidance you seek. You must simply ask. But be rest assured in the knowing that you are the divine, no matter the choice you make. It is of your own doing and creation. And it's ultimately always bringing you back to that fullness of self, that full realization of what all is and what you've always been. But it's here we have to set our intentions, for the life we seek to create begins with this yearning. For it's you building the image internally with the heart. So dive deep into it. Know here that the opportunities of transformation and change, the gateways that are opening, are ones that will take your aspirations and amplify them in this theme of co-creation and love. For the time is now for you to bring out the best of you. Shine forth as that beautiful gift you are to this experience for all. Because that's why you were here. To bring out that beautiful, unique, one-of-a-kind light as the beautiful soul you are. When you hear the next tap of the singing bowl, take a nice deep breath in. And with your exhale, transform into a powerful and mighty Om. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. Whew. Don't forget to smash the like, do the YouTube stuff. And this is a loaded service. So definitely spend some time in reflection and just pondering the depth of these cycles, because the patterns will reveal themselves more and more. You know, the greater and longer you really hold that magnifying glass up to them. And during this time of transformation, we must come to recognize there was a lot of really wild events that's happened in these previous cycles during these transitional years, like the Arab Spring. There's been a ton of different revolutions. I believe even like the French Revolution went on during that same like mirroring of time. But everything in terms of this upheaval is, again, cycles and transitions. It's an opportunity to either go back around or to exit. And for most of us, we've been entering this period, especially of 2021, where the line in the sand was greatly drawn in terms of what you were really about. So know that if you're even listening to this now, you are on that path of ascension. Really commit to it. Life wants you to. And it's going to uplift you and support you in this journey. You're already experiencing it. I'm sure your 2022 has been wild thus far. I know mine has. It's actually coming up on a year of some major pivots and dominoes falling. And it's been beautiful. And again, it's not coincidental that we're all experiencing these different types of transitions, pivots, catalytic moments, awakenings, this all at once. Because again, collective consciousness, baby. Your life itself. We're life. We're all one energy. And each of us is that window of awareness, but all of us have that same eternal fire flowing through us. That's the beauty here. That we can really come to recognize and understand that you're not alone. And in this theme of co-creation, in this, Aquarian age we are in, that's what's really going to be our ticket out. To let go of those walls of egoic, selfish individuality and to open up into that understanding of oneness. That understanding of co-creation and amplifying ourselves, that it takes a community to raise a child or a village to raise a child. It's going to take a community to build transformation and change on the scale in which we all need. But for ourselves personally, the only way that we can align with that mission is by really loving on ourselves fully, being our most authentic self. And I don't know about you, but 2009, 2010, 2011 are mirroring exactly how they are now. Notice I say mirroring, they're not the same. It's just that parallel. The lessons are almost in their inverse. For me personally, I went inwards in 2009, 10, and 11. That was my journey to awaken to self. And here now, it's really getting outward, bringing that light and gift to the world. So what's your journey? What's your path? And how can the lessons of the old serve you in the present? Because that's the most important thing to remember. Because if we don't change those cycles of the past, they're going to repeat in more intensity and severity. And with this crazy cycle going on with Aries, we really want to understand that destruction is a great tool. It's pivotal and necessary, fully required for creation. We can't have it without destruction, but it has to be concise, has to be refined and focused, or else it's just chaos. But when you can really get that propulsion system, those controlled, liberating moments, it operates like a rocket ship and you just kind of ascend higher and higher, and then you're out of frame. So I hope that this prompt, that these inner lookings can help you level up during this period, that during this eclipse season and these transitional changes of the stars and celestial bodies, that you can ride that wave to bring out the fullness of you. Because I love you. And I hope you love yourself enough to really take the time to map out your future in the heart. Because you are that God and goddess of creation and manifestation. Ask and ye shall receive. And with that, may the fruit of knowledge offer a seed. And in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all whom ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. I love you so much. Take care. Have a great night. I'll see you Sunday. Bye. Peace.